So I wake up and it's Mill standing over me. He just going in, just tagging me. And I'm just like, when you woke up out of your sleep and you just getting hit several times by somebody who you thought you was cool with, you like, what's going on? Like, I'm laying down, so all I could do is try to, get up. So I grab his shirt and, I'm trying to tussle to make my way up. I just couldn't believe what was happening. This is about to be a story time because this is one of the craziest things that ever happened to me. It was just a regular day.
Tripper plug, this the real deal. This tripper plug, this the real deal. I know you see me on television, I know you see me on your YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool. Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do, cause they gon' study your every move, try to imitate what you about to do. This here is the gang gang. We don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move.
Okay, so I'm at the studio in New York City, you know what I'm saying? It was a late night session. And we making some music and we been in there for a couple hours, me and my boy Omen. We thought we had one. You know what I'm saying? When you think you got one, you like, yo, we got one. This gonna bang. So it was like, well, let's take a break, go across the street. It was like, I know the DJ over there, let's go across the street before it get crowded and see if he could play this record in the club so we could hear how it sounded in the club. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, let's go do it. I was like, cool. So I already had a drink in my hand. You know what I'm saying? We was up there drinking, having a good time. We was just going across the street to play the record, then we was going, get a feel for it, get a little pump, like, yeah, we got one, come back and finish things up. So I said, yo, we just crossing the street, so let me just take my drink with me. The bar is closed, he know the people and things like that, so ain't no need to buy another one while I'm over there if I got one in my hand. So I go outside, I got my cup in my hand. As soon as we come down the elevator and go out to the street, the sidewalk, it's a police car driving past. NYPD. And they, driving slow or whatever. I didn't think they was paying no attention to me. As soon as they pass, they slow up and then stop. And I'm like, oh, man. So the cop asked me, what's in the cup? And I said it was Kool-Aid. The cop looked at me like I was being funny and, I said, Kool-Aid. He was like, Kool-Aid. If that's not Kool-Aid in that cup, I'm going to take you to jail right now. And I was like, it's Kool-Aid, it's Kool-Aid. So he start walking towards me. And before he could get to me, I pour it out. So he's like, oh, okay. So he grabs my cups, he smell it. He was like, why you drinking outside in the open container? I was like, I was just going across the street. This is my house. I live right here. And he was like, well, you can't be outside drinking. He asked me if I had an ID on me. I'm like, oh my God, really? You gonna run my ID for drinking? So I'm like, I give him my ID. He runs my ID and says, could you come over here, stand right here for a minute, and comes back and can you put your hands on the hood of the car, handcuff me and all this? I'm gonna have to take you in. I'm like, for what? You got a warrant for your arrest in Ohio. I'm like, oh my God, man. So I get arrested. They take me to Rikers Island. Now, I didn't get charged with the drinking the outside or open container, whatever they want to call it. But they said that Ohio wanted me. So they was going to come to get me. So I'm in Rikers Island. Now, Rikers Island was crazy. The first thing that happened when I got to Rikers Island, when I get into booking, you know, I'm sitting there and it's crowded. There's a whole bunch of people and I hear this loud ladybug. Yeah, you got me messed up. And, you know, and somebody who was in the holding cell with me knew the ladybug. So the ladybug comes down and sit next to him and they talking, yapping it up. And the ladybug,
I had to fuck one of these little bum ass niggas.
like, yeah, I just got out the hole and, you know, I got into a fight with one of these dudes and you know how I get down in the streets. I ain't about to let nobody play me for being me. And, you know, I'm sitting here listening. The dude was loud. You know, everybody in the tank could hear it. Didn't nobody say nothing. I'm looking around at other dudes. Wouldn't nobody even look at him. Ain't nobody, you know, be like, yeah, you know, nobody disrespect them. And when I seen that, I thought, wow, you know, it was courageous to me to see somebody just being themselves in the midst of a hard jail with all these people that's in there for so many different reasons. And he was holding his own. So I had a lot of respect for that. You know, I really did. No, but ain't nobody say nothing. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, all these niggas pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it is what it is, you know. So Rikers Island wasn't bad, you know. I was there waiting and waiting for Ohio to come get me. Now, you got people that was in Rikers Island that was there for years, fighting the trial or, you know, murder cases and things like that. And you had a whole bunch of guys in there that just knew everything about, they could pretty much be attorneys. You know, so some guys was telling me, well, they got 30 days to come get you. If they don't come and get you after 30 days, New York got to let you go. They can't hold you no longer than that. So I'm like, really? You know what I'm saying? So I was willing to wait out the 30 days versus getting extradited way back to Ohio, you know, and have to deal with that. So I was like, well, I hold down, come get me, you know. So weeks go by, you know, 3 weeks go by. They still ain't came. You know, I'm still in Rikers. Everything is good. On day 29, I'm thinking, you know, I'm about to get out. You know, they call my name. And other people who was in the cell, you know, I'm out there playing cards and things like that. They like, oh, you about to go. Yeah, they ain't coming to get you. They about to let you out. So I'm like, word. They like, yeah, you know, people was cool. Like, yo, holla at me, man. You know, write me. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this music. Hit me up. And it was a lot of cool people in Rikers Island. I got to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? I had people's numbers, addresses, you know, things like that. And I'm ready to go. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to be out. Get back to these streets and finish doing what I was doing. When I get to the front, I see 2 state patrol officers with Ohio badges on. And I'm like, y'all waited all the way to the 29th day to come get me. Y'all could have did this, you know, weeks ago. But y'all gonna wait all the way to the 29th day, make me think that I'm going back to the streets, and then y'all want to show up. Man, I was like, wow. So, you know, State Patrol, man, shackle me up from head to toe. I mean, I had shackles on my hands, shackles on my feet. You know, I felt like Mary, take the shackles off my feet so I could dance. You know, they had me like I did homicide, or, you know, if I slayed a couple people. You know, I had on a job, I'm walking like this, and the whole ride all the way to Ohio, they had me shackled and handcuffed. I mean, it was the most uncomfortable ride ever. Now, on the way, they didn't do the ride straight through. They dropped me off on different jails along the way. You know, stay here for a couple hours, somebody else gonna come pick you up, or stay here overnight and, you know, we'll come back and get you in the morning. So I was on a jail tour. You know, and some of them little jails, and man, when I tell you some of the food that they was giving them little jails that don't know, I was like, dang, I mean, they got cake and like, but you know, it's still jail. But I'm telling you, they food was way better than some of these jails that I went to. But you know, I went on my little jail tour, you know, stopping off on different jails, and we finally made it to Cleveland. Now, when I get to Cleveland, you know, I'm anxious to just get everything over with. You know, I had already been locked up for a month. I'm looking crazy, beard going crazy, hair going crazy. It just is what it is, but I'm anxious to get it over with because I had been on the lam for a while. You know, they just finally caught up with me. So I knew that it was going to be a while because they had me in Rikers for, you know, 29 days, a month. So I knew since I had been on the lam for so long, they wasn't anxious to see me anytime. They was going to make me sit. So, you know, I go to the county, you know, they assign me my pod and things like that. I go on the pod, you know, I get assigned to a room. I had a bunkie. Now my bunkie, he was cool. He was this big, tall dude, nice looking brother, you know, had so much commissary. I mean, it was packed up under my bunk. And he slept on the floor. You know, when I came in, I'm like, you don't want the bunk, I'll take the floor if you. He was like, nah, you can have it. I like sleeping on the floor. But underneath my bunk, well, it wasn't no bunk, it was a single bed, and he slept on the floor, but he had rows of ho-hos and shebangs. If you ever been in jail, you know what shebangs is. Brownies and M&Ms and soap and just everything that you could imagine, like, stacked up. And I'm like, dang, like, how long you been in here? He told me he'd been in there for over a year. And I'm like, wow, you know, waiting to go to court. He was fighting his case. So me and my bunkie, we was cool. You know, we used to sing every night, love songs. We used to write up down the best love songs, and we was cool. I mean, but that's the only person I really talked to. I stayed in my cell for the most part, and for about a week, I just stayed in there. You know, I would come out every once in a while, but not that often. Now, this is where things started to get a little sketchy. Now, I said, you know, I have been there for a while. Let me get out and just chill more in the, you know, the common area, because I was just tired of being in my room all day. So I'm chilling in the common area. This guy, Mill, you know, he comes over. He's sitting next to me, you know, talking. He like, what you in here for? I told him, you know, what happened in New York. You know, I said I got a little warrant. I ain't gonna be here that long. You know, he like, oh, you from New York? I'm like, well, I'm from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? I just moved to New York doing my music thing and things like that. At the time, I was rolling with my homeboy Mims. You know, he like, oh, you do music? I'm like, I do music with my boy Mims. The song, This Is Why I'm Hot. He like, oh, that's your boy? I'm like, yeah, you know. We was just talking. You know, and he seemed cool, you know. He was like, oh, that's what's up, you know. Everything was copacetic. We was talking and talking more and more. You know, he started telling me he don't think he gonna get out of jail and he probably gonna do 3 to 5 years and this and that. And he started offering information that I ain't even asked for. He told me that when he was in jail before, he messed around with a dude. And I'm just sitting there like, what? He was like, yeah, man, like, I let the dude, you know, suck me off or whatever. You know, he was like, I mean, some people don't do that when they in there, but he was like, you know, I'm only going to do it while I'm in there. When I get out, I'm not going to do that. I'll just do it for the meantime. So when he told me that, he seemed genuine. It was just like, okay, you know, maybe he just, I felt cooler with him because I'm like, okay, well, at least he ain't one of them dudes that's going to be judging gay people and things like that. He seemed like he was pretty cool with it. Now, Mill was sexy. I ain't gonna even lie. You know, brown skin, about 5'11", slim, had abs, always walked around with his shirt off doing pull-ups and just sexy. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't let him know that. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't blind. I could see, you know. And it was cool talking to him, having somebody to talk to. I thought he was open-minded. He was cool. Now, things started to take a little turn. Mill, he was in there for, he said he broke in somebody's house and something happened and he got into it with some people. Came back and was stealing some copper out the house and something happened with a fire. It was just all over the place. And I'm like, so you broke in somebody's house and stole copper out and then came back and set the house, like, it was crazy. When he was going in, he wasn't coming back no time soon, you know, but I was cool with him, you know. Now, like I say, things got a little crazy. Now, I ain't trying to pull my own horn, but this is the story. This is what happened. During mealtime, you know, you got trustees in the county that work from different pods and things like that. They will come to different pods and help serve the meals. You know, it'll be a guard with them and they'll give you, you know, your oatmeal and your breakfast, you know. Now, every time I would go up to get my meal, I mean, I would get 2 bananas, like 2 scoops of oatmeal, like they was like laying it on thick on my tray. And at first, I just thought that's what everybody would get. But when I be walking away with my tray and I be looking at other people's tray, they ain't have 2 milks and 2 bananas and a double scoop of oatmeal or 6 sausages or, you know, mystery meat or whatever they had that day. I had double. And I be looking like half the time I ain't even want to eat the stuff because it was like, man, I don't want to eat this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was nasty as hell, but Mill started to notice too. He'd be like, yo, they hooked you up. And I'd be like, yeah. Now, when I started noticing that every meal I was getting double, I started to think like, yo, why they giving me so much food? You know, do they know me? Have they seen me somewhere? Like, you know, like, but I'm like, nah, like, why I'm getting more than everybody else? But I ain't really say nothing. You know, sometimes I would give something. I'd be like, man, you want this? Like, he'd be like, yeah, you know, he'd eat it and things like that. And, you know, I didn't know why I was getting so much. So another time, you know, breakfast time come. We wake up in the morning. I go over there. I get my food. They lay it on thick on me again. And the dude who was putting the food on, he did like one, like, and I'm like, you know, like, take my tray and keep it moving. Next meal, lay it on thick again. A different dude, like, I'm like, take my food again. And I'm like, every meal, this was happening. So, finally one day, one of the dudes came again, and one of the same dudes who usually, do the meals, hooked me up again. And he was like, "What's up, Ali?" And I was like, "What's up? You know me?" He was like, "I know your brother." And I was like, "Oh," he was like, "Yeah, your brother was on the pod with us and things like that. He told us to look out for you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." You know what I'm saying? I felt a little better because, I was starting to think, I'm going to have to put out eventually, for all these extra bananas, and somebody going to want to give me their banana if I keep taking them. So I was just happy, relieved. Oh, okay. Yeah, they was like, yeah. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's what's up." And they was like, "Yeah." So I get my tray, and that went on and on and on. Now, this day, for some reason, Mill wasn't in a good mood, or whatever the case may be. I get my food. He right behind me. He usually be right behind me in the line. And this day, he just flipped out. "Man, y'all gonna stop fucking playing with me, man." And everybody like, "Yo, what's up?" He was like, "Man, y'all gonna stop fucking playing with me. Like, I'm tired of this. Y'all gonna stop playing with me, man." You know what I'm saying? And everybody looking like, he like, "Man, no," and just throw his thing down and go like, and the guard come over there like, "What's going on?" He like, "Man, they keep giving me this little bit, like, what am I supposed to do with this?" So when he started like flipping out about the food, he wasn't getting a lot and stuff. I felt like, dang, like maybe he mad because, I'm getting a lot of food and he not, I just was like, dang, but it was like, that's my boy. Like, if you wanted the extra banana or, some of my oatmeal or this mystery meat, you can have it. Like, I probably ain't gonna eat it all anyway, but he was just mad and feeling some type of way because, he'd get a little scoop, and right before him, he seen me just, and I just was like, dang, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I didn't ask for the food. They just giving it to me. I'm sorry. So, he was just acting weird that day and really wasn't saying much, but he still was cool. He came back out and was just like, "Man, I'm just tired of this, man." Like, and I'm like, "Man, I feel you, man. Like, it's crazy up in here." He like, "Man, I'm ready to go to, court so I could get this over with, get my bid started." He was telling me how he ain't like the jail and prison is way better than jail, and, at least he'll be able to go out on the yard and do this and do that and order commissary the way he want, and, all of these things. And I was like, yeah, man, I ain't trying to do all that. I ain't going there. When I go to court, I'm probably going to be out of here, and, we'll sit around the table and rap and talk and do all these types of things. Now, y'all know I got to keep it real with my cousins. I knew that he had messed around with a boy before because he told me. I never shared with him that I messed around. But sometimes I be feeling like when you too cool or too nice with somebody, they could sense it. I think I was too cool with Mills sometimes, giving them things. And, a lot of times when they unlocked the door for us to come out into the common area, I would go up to his room. He'd be asleep. I'd be like, "Yo, what's up? You coming out?" He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm coming out." One time, he can't. They unlocked the doors. I went upstairs to his room again. He was doing sit-ups with his shirt off. And I'm like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "You should do these other things." He was like, "Do what?" And I was letting him show you. So we was doing the things where he hold my ankles and push his legs up, and I was pushing his feet down, and he was standing over me, and I'm watching him now. In my mind, I know that ain't nothing gonna happen between us. It's jail. It was so crowded in there. There's really no space for nothing like that. That really wasn't in my mind, but it was cool just looking at him sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It was cool just looking at him. Like, I knew I wasn't going to prison or going to jail, and you know, maybe I thought about it once or twice, you know, on a late night, or maybe, but you know, it's the thought creep in your mind and it creep right back out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, ain't nothing gonna happen. And I'm just, you know, keeping it 100. So everything is going good, man. You know, I'm just chilling, waiting for my court date, and you know, it's boring this day. It was just a regular day. And I go in my cell, you know, everybody out playing cards. My cellie is out there playing cards. He used to play cards for snacks, and you know, they used to gamble with their snacks. You know, let's play for a pack of cookies or a bag of Doritos, or you know, a brownie, or you know, let's play for some shebangs. And he used to be going in the room, coming back. So most of the time we didn't lock our door because he had to go in there and come back out, you know, go get some cookies, or he'd come back in with like 5 packs or something and be like, I just won this. And I'll be like, you know, y'all crazy. But that was one of the mistakes I made, you know, going to sleep in my cell with my door unlocked, you know. But I knew my cellie had to, you know, go in and out. So, you know, I go in the room. First I'm reading a book, and then, you know, I just go to sleep. I'm dozed off. I'm sleeping good too in the middle of the day. When I wake up, it's Mill standing over me. Boop, 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 boop. Just going in, and I'm like this, and I'm like, yo, what the? And I wake up and I see it's him, but you know, you in a daze. You know, you don't know what's happening. You just wake up and somebody just punching you. You know, I didn't have my shirt on because I used to take my shirt off and fold it up and use it as a pillow. So I had my pants on, but I had my shirt laying on it. So I grab him. Now, he still had his shirt on. So luckily, I was able to grab his shirt, and, you know, I'm trying to get my way up. I'm like, yo, what, you know, and I make my way up after he done hit me about 4 times. Pop, 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 pop. I grab his shirt and I pull myself up, and he falling over, and I'm fighting, trying to get to my feet. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I finally get to my feet, and I mean, we going at it like pop, pop, pop. Man, I grab his shirt because I still had it by my hand, and I'm just tagging him. Boop, 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 boop with this hand. He breaking, you know, doing all this, trying to break it loose. Now, I guess everybody out there done heard the commotion in the room, or maybe they seen him come in there and things like that. I wasn't even paying attention to the people who was looking at the door. He tries to turn around and run out of the cell. Now, my cellie is standing at the door watching the whole fight the whole time. So when he tries to run out the cell, my cellie pushed the door closed. And if y'all know about the county, when you close the door all the way, it locks automatically. So the door is locked. Now we in the room by ourselves, like, and I'm like, yo, what? I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Like, so we going at it. I'm walking up on him like, nah, nigga, nah. Boop, 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 boop. We was going at it, man. He was swinging punches up. Like, let me tell y'all one thing, man. It's one thing that your boy do know how to do. Thank God to my ghetto mama and my daddy that was a boxer, and my fighting brothers, and like, your boy got some hands. So if you don't knock me out while you punching me in my sleep and I get up on my feet, oh yeah, we gonna have to knuckle this thing up. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't had no win with me. I'm tired. Bap, 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 bap. He's still trying to get out. Doug, and I'm like, no, like, at this point, I don't know what to tell you, bruh. You know, so my cellie, like, unlock, you know, telling the dude to unlock the door, the CO. So the CO pop his door. He like, can you pop, you know, whatever room we was in, 13, pop 13 or whatever. I guess the CO you know, they standing around trying to act like they ain't looking in. And, you know, my celly was making sure, yo, y'all chill. Like, you see people trying to look in. So he popped the celly. The dude runs out and runs upstairs. I'm still heated. I still want to fight some more. You know what I'm saying? So I run out. Like, what, bitch? Come down, don't run now. And I was loud. And the CO heard. And he was like, yo, everybody on y'all doors. Man, everybody was like, what we do? It was like, everybody on the doors, like right now. Because I'm making a scene. I'm like, come downstairs, bitch. I'm about to fuck your ass. Like, I was going in, like, so everybody in the cell, everybody had it. He was like, everybody in their room. He popped everybody's door. Everybody had to walk in their room. I'm going upstairs, trying to fight the dude. He pushed the buzzer and the COs come running in, you know, the men in black, you know, start running in and they grab me. They like, yo, what's going on? And I was like, yo, this bitch ass nigga came in my room while I was asleep and stole on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they was like, who? And I told. I was like, this nigga in this room, like, I don't know what I was thinking. You know, in jail, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But I was so heated, I still wanted to fight some more. I wasn't thinking about being quiet or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So they went to his door, got him out. And everybody, you could hear everybody in the cell like, why you tell on him? Like, y'all could have got it in later. Why you tell? And I'm like, nah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we cuffed and they taking us to the hole. Now, I don't know why I was going to the hole because I'm not the one who came in somebody's room and stole on them while they was sleeping. You feel me? So I'm like, why I'm going to the hole? They like, you know, we just going to the hole. You know, my celly was like, yo, you shouldn't have said nothing. And I was like, man, you know, getting my stuff out the room. You got to pack up all your stuff. And, you know, and he was like, you shouldn't have said nothing. And I was like, man, I wasn't thinking. He was like, you know, so everybody was locked down for the rest of the day. I'm off to the hole and old boy is off to the hole. Man, when I tell you, when I get to that hole, it was like a whole nother, it was like a jail inside the jail. I mean, when you get there, it's like no open space. It's just cells. You see people looking out the cells. Like, I don't know how long they've been in the hole. You hear people screaming, banging on the doors like, yo, can I get a shower? Like, it was just like crazy, like insane. You know, if you think just going in a regular pod is crazy, this is even more crazy. Like, people hadn't showered. People were standing by the door cussing and screaming, banging on the doors like going crazy. So they put me in the hole. And in the hole, a regular cell is bad enough. But in the hole, you don't even get a regular toilet. It's like, it's bad. No mat. You just laying on the hard metal in a cold cell with white brick walls. And I didn't know how long I was going to be in the hole. You know, I get in there and at first you there and you just like, you just upset and you just like, wow, I'm just trying to think like, why did that happen? You know, what did I do to him? Like, wow, like, you that mad because I was getting, you know, more food than you? Like, what? Like, wow. Like, somebody I was cool with, I wouldn't have never expected that from him. Never. You know, I was really looking out for old boy. I thought we was cool, you know. I'm just thinking like, wow. Once that set in and you just in a hole, you just run out of things. Like, I started to replay my whole life. You laying on that bunk, you sleep so much that you can't sleep no more. Every time I would wake up, I would just think I went all the way back to when I was a little baby. I reenacted situations in my head. I started doing things where I changed the scenario of situations. What if I would have did this? How would this outcome come? I mean, you would go to sleep and you would dream about things. I mean, I replayed my entire life day by day in my head to the point where I didn't have any more life to think about. And that's when you start to go crazy. I started to write songs in my head. I wrote a song for Usher in my head. I wrote all these different hooks in my head. And I sung them over and over and over again until I memorized them. I still know some of them now to this day because I sang them so much. You jump off the bunk, you say, well, let me do some push-ups. You get tired of doing push-ups. You walking back and forth. Now you sweating and you hot and you want to take a shower. The water, you try to push the water, no water's coming out. You know, they feed you, but it ain't even like, it comes in a white tray and they don't even feed you as much as you got on the pod. All my double bananas and extra scoops and all of this stuff, all of that was gone. Days went by that I was in a hole. You start to lose your mind. You start to literally go crazy in there. Sometimes you just get so angry you want to cry. And sometimes you just in your head and just thinking all types of things. You know, after 3 or 4 days, somebody came and asked me if I wanted to take a shower. I was so happy to get out to take a shower. But the shower water is freezing cold. I mean, literally, I couldn't even stand under the water. I said, you know, where's the hot water? It wasn't no need to complaining because it was like, I already know I'm in a hole. You know, people were still screaming and cussing at night. It was this one guy who was singing from out his cell. And I mean to tell you, this dude had a beautiful voice. He was probably one of the best singers I ever heard in my life. And the songs that he would write, that was our entertainment. I looked forward to him singing every night. So after being in the hole for I don't know how long, a CO came and it was a female. And, you know, she was asking me some questions and I was like, you know, how long do I gotta be in the hole? You know, I've been in here for about 3 or 4 days already. Like, how long do I have to stay? She was like, I don't know. Some other allegations came up. Now, when she said some other allegations came up, half of my mind already knew what it was. But I just had to be sure. And I was like, some other allegations? What other allegations? She looked at me and she was like, you know what I'm talking about. I was like, no, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about, some other allegations. And she was like, he said that you was trying to come on to him. You was making passes at him. And I was like, what? Making passes at him? Like, nah. She was like, well, you'll have your chance to talk to whoever when you get your chance. And she left out and slammed my cell. And when I tell you, I was just like, wow, like, I can't believe this dude then went and told them that he came in my room and stole on me in my sleep because I was making passes at him. I never made any passes at him. Now, the passes that I made was in my mind, but I'm not the type of dude that's going to overstep my boundaries or do some, you know, fuckboy shit because I think you're attractive. Like, maybe I was being too nice. You know, maybe he could sense something or I don't know what it was. But he was the one who told me about him. And I just was like, yeah, man, I feel you. I didn't, you know, be like, nah, that's some homo shit. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, dude, that's real. You know, I feel you on that. But you gonna use the gay card and say that I tried to make a pass at you and that's the reason why you came in my room and stole on me. When I tell you, I was just in my head like, wow, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was like, am I going to get in more trouble? How long am I going to be in the hole? Are we going to have to talk to somebody? I was just in total shock. Nothing like that has ever happened to me where somebody accused me of coming on to them or trying to mess around with them. I didn't know what type of thing could happen in jail for an allegation like that. So now I'm really in my head and I'm thinking like, wow. After about a day and a half, they came and got me and took me to another pod. This time it was an older pod and everybody was relaxed and laid back and things like that. But they put me in a room with this old nigga that I don't know if he was crazy or something had to be wrong with him, because the nigga kept farting and laughing like, and you know, like in jail, bruh, be respectful of somebody else's space, you know. And he would be laying there with the cover over his head and he'd just fart like loud. And then I could see his body shaking like he was laughing, and I'd be looking at him like he knew what he was doing to piss me off. And I'd be like, yo, man, like, yo. And I cover my nose. I mean, he had the whole cell smelling like rotten rat's ass. Like, when I tell you, I was so pissed. And he'd do it again and start laughing. And I'd be like, bro, can you show some respect? Like, go somewhere else. Or, you know, like in jail, like common courtesy, you could sit on the toilet, fart, let it flush the toilet, let the air go down the drain or something. Be respectful of your bunkies and your cellies. But no, I mean, literally, it was like you was in a gas chamber. Like if you inhaled, you would die. So I told the dude, I was like, bruh, if you keep on farting in here, bro, we gonna have to knuckle up. Like for real, we about to fight. At this point, I was ready to go back to the hole. And it wouldn't have been no allegations on this one. It would have just been what it was. Like, I'm gonna fuck your ass up because you keep farting and I can't breathe. So I literally told the CO, like, man, all this you ain't supposed to be telling. And like, nigga, what you gonna do? Fight me. I told the CO, like, y'all need to get me out this room, because if y'all keep me in this room with this dude, I'm going to fuck him up. Like, period, point blank, little dot at the end of the whatever I just said. It ain't gonna be nothing about it. He was like, I was like, they was like, yeah, a lot of people complain. I was like, if everybody complaining about him, why y'all put me in the room with him? They was like, well, we can give you another room when one come available. I was like, well, please make one come available or move him out. Either one of us got to go. Like, and from the looks of it, it's gonna be him. I'd rather go back to the hole. So eventually, you know, they found another room for me, and I went to the other room, and it was just like, I was lucky to have the first bunkie that I had because he didn't stink. He was, you know, we was cool, but you never know who you gonna get in jail. And that was just a bad experience being in jail. And the moral to the story is, for anybody, not saying that y'all need to be going, because this is my life, and this ain't something that I would wish or want for anybody to do. But if you're a gay person and you go to jail, don't be too friendly with people. Don't get too cool with people. Don't tell people too much of your business. Ain't nobody your friend in jail. These people going through so many problems. Some of them going to jail for years. They don't have no support outside. They ain't got commissary. People are jealous of you. You know, they could have been jealous of my life. You know, I'm out in New York living a great life, making music with Mims, you know, in jail for something petty. And some of these people about to do life. About to do 5 years, 10 years. You know, When you go to jail, some of the most beautiful, most sexy men are in jail. I can't say the same thing about the women because I done seen some of y'all rough when y'all be looking toe up when y'all be coming past. I mean, man, you might see a cute one every once in a while. But man, y'all ladies be looking toe up, you know, but some of the sexiest men are in jail. You know, don't get caught up in it and things like that, especially if you in like prison. I don't know how that is. I've never been to prison, but don't get too friendly with people. Don't tell people your business. Don't think you got a friend in jail because nobody in jail is your friend. You know, one day they could be cool. The next day they'll flip out on you. I think because I was in Rikers and everything went well, I'm like, that's hard. Like I go back to Cleveland. Cleveland is a whole nother beast, and that's the city I come from. I should have known. You know. No, I never did tell the boy that I messed around, but sometimes people could sense it. You know, by how friendly you being, how laid back you being. You know what I'm saying? And he used that against me. You know. Some of these guys, straight guys, if they know you mess around, they would try to play on that. They'd come around you with no shirt on. They'd do little flirtatious things to get you sucked in. You know, to get you doing things for them. They'll start asking you, yo, can you make a phone call for me? Yo, you want that? You want that? And they know what they doing. Some of these people been in jail several times, and it's like a hustle to them. Not saying that I would ever go back, but you never know what happened. But usually I just stay to myself. I ain't trying to be buddy. I don't tell people my business. You know, people don't really care about what you doing on the outs. You know, y'all all in here together. Everybody up in jail got 5 cars. They living a great life. They live in a mansion. Don't nobody really want to hear that. When we in here, we all on the same level. I don't need to tell you about what I got, how I'm living, the bitches that I've fucked, and none of that. I'm here to do my time. I'm here to get out, and that's that. You know, stay strong, you know. But the number one advice is just don't go. That's my story. It was crazy. But like I said, it was just a regular day. If you're new to the channel, man, y'all need to go ahead and subscribe. If y'all want to hear more, you know, story times like this, get this video up to 500 likes. I need y'all to start liking these videos, you know, so more people can see it. If y'all support and you my cousin, let's help grow this channel. Like I say, get this video up to 500 likes and I'll do another story time. You know, holla at your favorite cousin. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because I'm telling you, I'm the realest on the tube and I'm tired of being humble about it. Ain't nobody got no channel that's speaking the truth and being real like I am. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy. Go ahead and subscribe. Thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you'll know whenever I drop another video. And y'all need to watch this and watch my other videos too. Holla at your boy, man. I'ma holla at y'all next time. And I'm out. Yeah.